Hello, everyone. This is Teddy Keckstedt from Forex Trading Unlocked here on December the 30th, and we are going to take a look at the markets real quick, just do a quick little bit of a forecast for 2026 here. So we have the Euro US dollar a little bit lower today, and as a whole, you can't really expect very much trading for the rest of this week with the holiday and New Year's, and probably even on Friday when they reopen for a little bit, there's not going to be very much action. But I would think probably come sometime between Sunday afternoon and Monday afternoon, the first full trading day of the first full week of the new year next week, I think then we'll have some good action, and we should have, I believe, some nice new move highs, especially when it comes to, say, the Euro US dollar and the pound versus the dollar, meaning that the Dixie, the dollar index, will probably be under a little bit of pressure. So we got a little poll here to see which currencies any of you think will have the most activity this upcoming 2026. The Euro US dollar, the pound US dollar, the US dollar yen, or the US dollar Canada, all of which are ripe for some good swings. We have some good central bank actions coming up in the year 2026. We know that the Federal Reserve most likely is going to cut at the very least a quarter point over the next 12 months. Probably my expectations and goal that I think most traders should aim for and shoot for is about 1.25%. I think that the quarter percent is very likely to happen before the beginning of the summer, maybe even before the new Fed chairman comes in. We'll see Powell already surprised already with the recent cut, and it seems like from his verbiage, if you will, that there may be another cut as well coming before he leaves office. So we'll see if that does happen. It's very good, very likely that it will give some downward pressure on the U.S. dollar, meaning it'll give it a fundamental lift to the Euro US dollar, the pound US dollar, the US dollar, and then obviously put a little pressure on the US dollar yen as well as the US dollar Canada. And also, since crude oil seems to be definitely remaining in a sideways to lower trade, that also could give some nice downward pressure to the US dollar yen as well, setting up for some very nice swing trades, especially when they have some corrective moves for profit taking reversal of the trend. If that does occur, and I would think that especially in that market, let's say that you have for instance, a very big corrective rally going on in crude oil, meaning to the upside versus the current trend. And let's say you also see a little bit of strength in the US dollar. That would give the bulls in the US dollar yen coming up a nice chance to catch or sell into a rally. In this case, with the Euro US dollar, we're looking to buy into breaks. We're looking for higher move highs, higher move lows. So like a day like today where it's lower, would I say get long? No, it's a holiday market. I wouldn't do anything right now. You're gambling, and there's more risk than any potential reward right now. So hopefully if you're watching this, you are just winding down your trading year and definitely not trying to catch up and make any money. Right now, you're looking at the market, it's barely moving. So as expected for the holidays. So as you can see on our chart here, we have the Euro US dollar, the upside breakout level here, which is at 118.06. Should we trigger that, I think it's very easy for us to pop up to this upside target level number one here at 119.94. And in the longer term, this upside target level number two here up at 120.30 most likely should be a very reachable target come, I would say, the third to fourth week of January into the beginning of February, especially if there is the bias of a rate cut coming. And then remember, other central banks are leading towards the opposite. We have divergence coming up in 2026 where other central banks are looking to raise rates. So that alone is also going to help to strengthen this little potential trend into the first quarter. So that's the Euro US dollar. Let's go to the GBP US dollar here. And with the pound US dollar here, not much action as well. It's a slightly lower on the day. It's floating below new move highs. The way I look at it is any lower action right now is a break to buy. It's just profit taking with not much profit taking going on right now. I would wait until Sunday night, Monday, and look for a breakout to the upside. It's been teetering on trying to break out, but with the holidays, it's very unlikely that you get that kind of a move. But I think the UTL number one, which is up here at 137 quarter, that is a very viable target come, I would say, before the middle of January. This could happen within the first 2 weeks of January. This upside target number two, this is at 140.97, almost 141 even. This target here, now the pound tends to overtrade very often. If we were to get an accelerated blow-off rally early in the month of January, I think that would definitely be an extreme spiking point where you'd probably see a corrective slide off of that area, should we get to that in a very, very short amount of time. If we bobble it, if we digest that first upside target level and kind of look, as you can see how it's been making these new highs, it's making little steps here. It's not really exploding the trend higher. If we continue with this kind of momentum here, you could see where, yes, by the middle of January, we should be here at the upside target level number one. And that would then lead us more towards probably February, end of January into the middle of February, just like we have the forecast for the euro US dollar. Now let's look at the US dollar JPY. We're looking at the four currencies that are on our poll here. If you're not watching this video right now, please check it out. If you are watching it later, definitely participate in the poll. And as well, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you have not already. It definitely helps with the algorithms. Leave some comments if you will, and especially your thoughts on 2026 for the markets for these major currency pairs. So for the US dollar yen, once again, like I said, because of crude and also with the dollar fundamentals, we're looking for it to go lower, as well as the weakness in crude oil. So I think this upside target level number one, should we get a spike higher, maybe upside target level number two, this is pretty much a fantasy as far as I'm concerned. The only thing that would justify a rally up into that area would be, especially if the thought of a rate cut coming in the next 1 to 3 months literally comes off the table anytime soon, where Powell starts to say, hey, I'm absolutely not cutting rates before his term is up. Or if there somehow is a major surge in the dollar for whatever fundamental or technical reason, that could help us do it, as well as if it was coupled with a big rally in oil. Like, let's say if oil gets back above, say, $62, $63 a barrel, which I cannot foresee in any time short term, at least, happening. If anything, I see it going down to $48 a barrel. But should that scenario arise, then I guess you would most likely see the US dollar yen up in that area. Outside of that, I think it's a pipe dream. If you're that kind of a bull in the long term looking for that area, I'm just giving you the heads up on that. That's my point of view. We'll see what happens. Now, once again, we're treading in this upside resistance band, probably not going to close above it today. We're into the holiday. I'm going to assume that we're going to stay in this pretty much through the holiday. And then I think going into next Monday, this from back in, this is back on, what was the date here? This was Friday, the 3rd of October. Then it gapped open on Monday, the 6th. That was a huge gap. Now, there is a trite saying in trading that all gaps get filled. Almost all of them do eventually. And does that mean it's going to happen anytime soon? No, not necessarily. But with our fundamental and technical outlook for the future going into here, I think we easily could come through this resistance band, test this rising channel line here. If we falter here, plus taking out this low, that would mean a higher move low with a lower move low, which sets us up for sideways to lower anyhow, reversing this trend. And I believe the short-term trend, I'm not trying to pick a top right here, I think it is topping out over the next week or so, and should start to erode and become a bear, breaking through this downside target level number one. Maybe it finds a little bounce here because it's right around this trend line, catches a little bit of relief for a little bit, maybe in this area here, around the 152 to 154 half. The Bank of Japan set this already up over a year ago. 150 or lower is where the Central Bank of Japan, the BOJ, would prefer that the relationship between the dollar and yen be, at the very least. If anything, they would like it actually a little bit lower, probably more in the 145 to 140 area. That would probably make them a little bit more content, if you will. So that 150 area, I'm assuming probably will become support initially. You could probably see a little spike below there, then come back up by this downside target level number 1 to the 152 to 153 area. Probably see some digestion before it starts to snake along and really come down towards this monthly directional pivot level, which is down around 148.5. That is, like I said, once again, a good area because that puts us down towards that 145 to 140 area. Below that monthly directional pivot level, you should see a lot of long-term algos and traders seeing that level and that action, meaning where not necessarily if there's any rally off of that area, it's probably going to be a corrective rally to sell into, and especially if the fundamentals maintain the way they are right now. Okay, now let's take a look at the US dollar Canada. So Ray, in fact, I would think my premonition for 2026 is you're going to see probably some of the major banks in Canada really stressed. Are they going to collapse? Need to be bailed out? I would say somewhere in between there. I don't think they're going to collapse, bail out. Absolutely. Their economy is just so stretched right now. Their debt threshold is monstrous. And their economic and policies are just completely going against anything that would, one, defend their currency in a positive way. Right now, the US dollar Canada, as you can see, is breaking. It's going lower. It fell through our downside support band here. It hasn't gotten to our downside target level, but it is getting near this area. The trend is still pretty steep. Now, we're going to take out this downward sloping trend line most likely if we don't do it today, which we're probably not going to do it today anymore. It's done for the day of the trading. Maybe tomorrow or on Friday, just by attrition, we're going to go through it. Is that bullish? No, that's just a matter of time going sideways. However, I could see that we probably might get a profit-taking rally, get above the downside support band for a little bit, challenge resistance, and then roll back over, especially since the dollar is under pressure. As long as the Dixie remains in a lower move low, lower move high posture and continues to trend in that capacity, I think the US dollar Canada will remain the same. So, hey, if any of you have any counter views or anything to add, please join the chat and enter whichever you would like to in there for sure. And also here, I'm going to put this as a reminder for those who watch it later. Please leave your predictions for 2026 Forex trends. How's that one? So we got that one in the chat there. We'll see if that gets any interest from you guys. Anyhow, hope you guys are enjoying this little prediction here. So this is where we're at on the short run. We took a run at those four major currencies that we have the poll on. Hopefully some of you guys interact with this and check it out, and we'll see what kind of prognostications you guys come up with. We have some great content and exciting things planned for 2026. It's the holidays, so don't expect too many frills out of it, anything today. But we figured we'd give a little market wrap up because tomorrow is New Year's. We may come up with a little something for a little bit before we go and end our year. So, but anyhow, wishing all of you, without a doubt, a very safe and happy New Year. Thank you for all your support over the year in 2025 and even from before that for many of you. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys in 2026, and you take care. You have a great day.